My name's Daniel. I'm 14 years old. I burnt Chrissy up in the first round, and the rest of you are going to be left eating my dust.
I do like that intro.
I'm not sure Dan does, but yes.
Dan loves the intro. He said, my name is Dan, and this is how I talk. I'm a massive fan of that specific intro to the live streams. I heard him say that. That's exactly the way he said it. Then he passed out in a puddle of his own vomit because he was drunk and on drugs.
That doesn't sound like Dan.
That does sound exactly like Dan.
No.
Okay, let's just check the test. 1 second. That sounds like it's coming through.
Yeah?
Tim.
That's me.
How are you doing?
I'm okay.
I started live streaming last week, or this week. When did I start doing it?
I
Sunday.
literally saw with my own eyes.
So I realized something. I went through I went through some issues on the first time and the second time, and got the sounding right, I think, but the picture was a bit meh. It was a little bit choppy when I was watching it back, and I made some adjustments, updated some drivers and things, and I think I about got it right, and then it stopped being right, and in the end I just caved and got a new Elgato, so I'll be setting that up for the next stream.
Okay.
They don't make internal Elgatos anymore, only external ones.
Oh.
Yeah.
You shouldn't swallow an Elgato, Common.
You should never wait, hold on. We've got something
swallow
for this.
an Elgato.
That's not right. Hold on.
That's
the
not
wrong
right,
pirate music. It's that one. There we go. You wouldn't swallow an Elgato. Tim wouldn't eat a tomato.
No, I wouldn't.
Well,
I
no?
would.
Mushroom?
As long as it's cooked. I don't like raw tomatoes.
Anyone watching the live stream?
No.
2 people, apparently.
Oh.
2 people. Millions of subscribers.
All under one roof.
Yes. It's called Toys R Us. We'll say up ahead, we're not talking about the Nintendo partner showcase because I didn't know it was happening.
To be fair, they didn't have... We'll do it off air, but they didn't have a single game that made me go, oh, I need a Nintendo Switch 2 now.
I've already felt like that, and I still keep having to tell myself I'm not buying one. I don't need one for Donkey Kong. I don't need one for Mario Kart.
The exciting news that that Madden is coming might sell one to you. If not, maybe FIFA.
I do like FIFA. Yeah. You know, I'm as the podcast's biggest Tottenham Hotspur fan. You know, I'm a massive FIFA fan.
I mean,
it's not FIFA anymore.
There was more interesting things.
Football kickabout.
There's a thing where you can sit round and talk to your friends around a campfire.
I heard about that. Are you dressed as cowboys as you do it?
No.
No dice.
You're not even dressed. You're not naked either. Just you can only see heads.
Heads.
Well, I guess you could see whatever you poke on the camera. I assume it's a camera-related one, but I didn't care enough to actually pay too much attention. There's a Monster Hunter and some Persona stuff and some other things that other people are probably interested in, but not me, Mr. Coleman. Not me.
No.
Star Wars Outlaws, yeah.
Well, yes, much worse looking Star Wars Outlaws.
Yes,
we'll say that. Okay. Anyone on? Oh, I can see. Right, we have listeners, viewers. If someone could let us know, how's our audio sounding? Are we level? Because I'm trying to figure some things out. Am I below Tim? Am I above Tim? Is Tim above me? Is Tim below me?
It looks like you're on my left or right, not above or below. Just so you know.
Can I? No, it's just that. Okay, that's not as fun.
No.
Can we? Is there?
Play Celebrity Squares
Whoa!
with Tim and Coleman.
It's pretty good. I could probably. Oh, give me a second. Do one of these. Can I move? No. Come on, let me move things. Stupid
Come on,
StreamYard.
do something.
Come
Coleman.
on, do something. All
Poke
right,
the
I
stick.
give up. I'm going to assume we're okay, and if we're not, we'll fix it in post like we did last week when I was about 300 decibels above you and Dan.
I mean, you are quite loud, Coleman.
Am I?
When drunk, yes.
Am I? Well, yeah, I know that. I've heard a week later because I have no recollection of that night.
Always drunk. No?
No,
No?
no.
Okay.
I remember a very specific point, and then I remember some shouting, and then I woke up.
I think it was you doing the shouting, just so you know.
Oh, yes. No, I know. I've been told.
Yeah.
Shall we do the show?
Okay.
Good. Where's the soundboard? There it is. Just wait for whoever's honking outside to stop. Good. It's a goose.
Very naughty goose.
3, 2, 1, go!
Episode 4.
We'll do it live.
BRB UK.
Do it
Short one
live.
this week.
Better accents.
We'll do it live.
Hello and welcome to episode 645 of BRB UK. It's a podcast from BigRedBarrel.com with me, Coleman, and that guy, Tim.
That's me.
Yes.
Ah.
No Dan this week.
No Dan.
He's got family matters. He did warn us. He said he was going to be away this week. I think he's away next week, if my memory serves correctly. I don't know. It's all a bit of a blur when we stop recording. There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of sounds of visuals and things coming at you, and then we stop. And then these guys go away and play video games and eat dinner and pick up wives and things. And I mean, their wives, not like they go out to the club and pick up wives. I sit there and edit and do stuff and then go to bed like 1 a.m. and then wake up 4 hours later and go to work. So everything's kind of a blur of what's been said outside of the show. However, Tim, how are you?
I'm okay. Bit tired. Maybe the game that I was playing this week's fault, partly. Although I also had quite a few late nights because weekend just gone, it was the Galactic Championship for Star Wars Unlimited. So that was happening late night in America. And I hosted an event at Loading, and that went on till late. And then I got home late, and then I stayed up even later to watch like more games. And then also stayed up late on Friday and Sunday, and stayed up late on Sunday to watch the final. So yeah, I'm a bit tired this week.
Fair enough. Okay. Off the top of the show, I will say we're not covering the Nintendo Direct partner program thing because we, so usually when these things happen, I will write an agenda a couple of days, a day in advance, and get us all sorted out for the show, and then round about my lunch break, I'll go through the news sites and just check things. I've got everything ready. Look through the PR emails, make sure everything's up to date. I got no notification that the Nintendo Direct was happening.
No.
I got no email. I went on all the news sites. I didn't see any how to watch today's Nintendo Direct or
it seems to
things that
shadow
you can
drop
expect.
completely.
Yeah, predictions from the Nintendo. Nothing like that.
Yeah.
The quickest I got was our good friend Ed on the Discord went, "Hey, what did everyone think of the partner showcase?" And I went, "Uh-oh."
Oh.
I have no time to prep for this.
We're
May just
mention
not
there,
covering.
sneak it in, that Ed, who we are both friends with, but also works for Square Enix, and there was some Square Enix stuff announced. I
There
think
was.
the headline of which was Octopath Traveler 0.
Zero, which is
that's-
basically Yakuza Zero,
Yeah.
but with or Resident Evil Zero with
Yeah.
Octopath.
I think this is yet more evidence that Japanese people can't count. They do 1, 2, then 0.
Oh, Tim, I can't believe you'd say something like that.
I mean, their alphabet's crazy as well. They go like S,
Tim.
A, B, C, D.
Tim.
Like, it's just a
Tim.
bit weird.
don't you lay off the Asians?
It's you should be better at that. You should grow from this, Tim. You should grow from this. I'm giving you a growing opportunity because me and Dan never say anything offensive on the podcast. It's always just you. You're the bad one, clearly. You're the rotter.
I
Bad
can't
egg.
even like take.
I may look like an egg, Tim, but you're a bad egg. I can smell you from here. I can smell you all the way from here in Portsmouth, where I definitely am. Let's talk about some games that we done played. And you said you were getting a lack of sleep because of the game you done played. And I'm assuming, correct me if I'm wrong, is that Wu Chang Fallen Feathers?
Yeah.
Which a lot of people have been speaking about. Some good, some bad.
Right. And up front, let's say there has been some performance issues on the PC. So if you are going to play this game and have the choice, I would opt, unless you have a top-of-the-line PC by the sounds of things, I would opt, like Mr. Dan, who's not here this week, but possibly does. But unless you have top-of-the-line PC, I'd go for playing this on whatever your console of choice is. Although apparently there's also been some performance problems on the PlayStation 5 as well. So Xbox may be the way to go. I've been playing on the Xbox Series S, and this is the thing that confuses the hell out of me. It's been performing perfectly on there. So I don't know how it isn't working on lower grade PCs. I assume that's a optimization for PC problem, but
well, how about we do this? Performance issues outside of the Xbox aside, which is lucky for them because it launched on Game Pass, so you really want it to perform well on the Xbox. How about you review the damn game instead of the tech issues, and we'll all be fine.
I wanted to get that out of the way first.
No, it's fine. I understand.
I will also do some surface level first impressions before getting into the game, because first impressions were a little bit mixed on this. I think when I invaded your stream the other day and you asked me about it, I said that it was okay so far, and it's fine. At first, anyone doesn't know, it is a Souls-like game basically. So it's an action adventure game with RPG elements, or with a lot of RPG stuff, where you are going through an environment and you can rest at certain points, and that will bring some of the enemies that you've defeated back, and you'll cycle and farm through different waves of those enemies and repeat going through the environments. It's got some slight differences to the FromSoft kind of formula. But and it's some of those differences that don't exactly create the best first impression as well. Because it just seems to change words for the sake of things, possibly for the not getting sued sake of things. But instead of souls, which I assume is a term they probably can't use or want to go away from, but instead of souls, it refers to stuff as red mercury. Which is an odd term of phrase. It's almost like a few of the phrases in the game haven't been accurately translated, possibly.
It's
or got a lot bit
better than replacing it with like essences or bloods or something like that, I guess, because it's so different.
Yeah, I got no problem with red things on this podcast. We like red things, that's fine. But I took to calling it Ready Mercury just because. But it's
not bad. I'm going to write that down.
Yeah, that's fine. But there's a lot of phrases in the game that I'd be fine with either one in isolation, but as a whole, it doesn't seem to kind of match up. For instance, there's altars you go to rather than bonfires in this game. They take the place of bonfires in Souls-like games, where you go and you rest. You go to an altar and you worship to access that thing. Now, from there, you can do level ups and you can do various other things to equip stuff to your weapons and a load of other things like that. But you actually have to actively then, on top of that, choose to enter the dream, as it calls it, to then reset the world and reset your mana vase, which I'll come back to in a second.
Please do.
Well, yeah, your mana vase and various other things that it will give back to you and stuff like that will refresh. So that's refreshing the state of the world, basically. So you can actually go in, and if you haven't lost too much health or used too many items, you can just go in and upgrade there and buy some items and stuff rather than having to actually reset the world every time you go to a checkpoint, which is quite good. Like I like that. That's a good extra thing. But as I said, altar's fine. But when you first access an altar, you do a blood sacrifice to kind of open it up, basically, so that you can then fast travel between them at different locations, or teleport as they call it, rather than fast travel. But then, right, the upgrade skill tree, rather than being called upgrading or skill trees or anything of that nature, they call it the impetus repository.
I like that. I like that.
I mean, again,
sounds majestic.
Yeah, but if any of them in isolation, I don't have like that's a horrible name, I really hate that, or anything like that. But I just wish there was a bit more synergy between the terminology things, and like there was like, I don't understand why they didn't go with like Red Mercury being slightly more blood related as you're doing the blood sacrifice to go to the altars, and like I wish it was all kind of a bit better tied together somehow, basically. But the other thing is that, and right, there's a good or a bad point to this as well. And combat generally, and I'll go back and forth on this, combat generally is good. I really enjoy the combat. The base level of the combat and the structure of the world is also really fantastic. Like, you know how some levels loop back on each other and have shortcuts that open up in Souls-like games in particular levels? Well,
yeah. The
whole world is interconnected in that way. So you'll be going through like a level that's like, say, level 3 in the game. I don't want to spoil anything too much, but you go through level 3 in the game, then you'll loop back round to where you started the game from, like by opening a door and go, oh, that's the starting area. Okay, that's all looped back round again and kind of done that. And then you'll open up different shortcuts that will mean that you won't have to traverse all the way back again and stuff like that. So the whole world is really well built and really well designed, and I really like that. And the combat's very good. The other thing that is good, but I don't know if it's covering a slightly bad thing about the game, but the one thing that's good is that you can respec for free at any time, basically. So no matter what you've sunk your points into in terms of the skill tree or impetus repository, you can respec at any time, which it's good that it doesn't restrict you to going down one path, especially as when you everything's kind of interconnected from one thing. There's one separate branch of the not at all skill tree because it's very circular, but anyway, but the one branch of the skill tree that goes off and kind of relates to your mana vase, which despite its name doesn't have anything to do with magic. By the way, that is your health.
Gotcha.
But for years, mana, it always relates to magic. So I guess it's a magical vase which heals you, I guess, kind of.
Okay.
But yeah, that again, the terminology being possibly a bit lost in translation and it being a bit weird. I should have mentioned that it's a Chinese-based game, as in it's set in China, but it's also Chinese developers.
Yes.
It's set in the kind of Ming Dynasty era. But it's got a supernatural kind of element to it where there is a disease called the feathering, which is affecting people and turning them into basically kind of zombie-like creatures that attack you on sight. But do
they have feathers?
No, which is a bit weird. But there are like lots of bird-related things in the game, like there's birds you can hit to get upgrades, and there's items, and then there's like bird related items and stuff like that. So but
swatting a pigeon, go good XP.
Catch the pigeon. You literally hit a bird and it gives you an upgrade that gives you a random effect. But anyway, or randomly upgrade something for a period of time. But yeah, like, where was I?
Sorry.
No, that's fine. But yeah, so yeah, there's one branch of the skill tree that does I think I branched off a couple of things there. But anyway, one branch of the skill tree that does like your health type stuff, and other ones are all related to the different weapon classes you can find. But as you go along one of those skill paths, it will also have upgrades that relate to stats which generally scale with that type of weapon. So, for example, if you're on like an axe, which is a big heavy weapon, you tend to have more strength nodes that are on those paths, so you get strength unlocked. When you go with the long sword, for instance, it has a bit more agility on the nodes that you can unlock along the way. There's
So you
also
get
then
broadswords.
there's also then other nodes that don't require the like souls or red mercury that are generally used for upgrades, that have other things that you discover in the world like lost remains and all this type of stuff, but they generally have like masteries of those weapons that make you slightly better with those weapons and then scale up the attack that you're doing with those weapons. But if you have a strength node on any of the branches, it will generally add to your strength for any of the weapons that you're doing on, and you kind of are encouraged to strengthen one weapon over the others so that you are very good with that weapon. But you're also encouraged by the design of the game to have two weapons on the go at once, because you can do this move where you kind of quick switch between your two weapons, and then it does one of the like special attacks with that secondary weapon as you bring it out. I think it calls a quick draw or something like that.
Would make sense.
Or fast draw or something of that nature. But
I like quick draw.
I don't think it's
McGraw.
actually that. That's probably a better name.
That's what I'm going to call it.
But that's fine. But then, yeah, like the one problem I found with that system though is that I at first leveled up my axe because I liked that weapon and it was good at defeating the general enemies in the game, I found. And that's
Right.
still the case. But then I got to a boss fight where it was particularly difficult with that axe. Maybe I didn't spec it in the right way, because there's different there's different things that you access and gain access to that each weapon has, and you can swap those skills in and out, basically. The abilities that kind of relate to that weapon. And you do a thing called... Oh, I'm forgetting the name of it now. But it's a... See, it's an odd name. But
Attack.
basically, there's certain things you do like perfect dodging, and then each weapon has a different way of obtaining a... I've heard other people will call it energy, but it's not really called that. That's kind of idea though, basically. So let's call
Flourish?
it energy because I can't remember what it's actually called. But and I have to look it up because it's a weird name, but I'll do it in a minute. But anyway, but then
Do it in your own time.
yeah, exactly. So you gain energy by dodging or by doing certain things. So with the axe, there's one particular way of doing it, but with any weapon you can dodge and you'll still get the stuff, but you'll still get the energy that you need to do your special moves. But generally, it's much easier to do that, and it's much easier. Right, it's much easier to dodge with the long sword, for instance, than the axe, because the axe, the long sword gives you access to agility, which helps you to dodge quicker. But then also the attacks that and the way that you can gain that energy is easier to do just with that sword anyway. So I found that even though I liked the axe for going around the general world, I had to then respec and go with the long sword to beat the first proper boss in the game. There's a mini boss that you kind of face before that that's really easy, but the actual first proper boss in the game had to completely respec. So I then had to kind of relearn how to play the game from the ground level before I could go face that boss, which meant that I farmed a bit and, kind of got some more ready mercury so that I could actually upgrade a bit more anyway. But it kind of slowed my progress and I was a bit unsure about it. But actually, having then got used to the longsword and the way that works, I think it's just as good for going around the environment. It's probably better for gaining the energy to do the special attacks when you're going around the environment as well. And while the axe is probably better at just dealing with enemies, the longsword was better overall in terms of being able to dodge better and do other things. So there are other weapons again. There's like dual swords and spears and like a single sword that makes you better at doing magic and stuff like that. So there are different things and different ways you can go down. It just feels that not all of them, like it almost feels like the game isn't balanced for you to go down one path and it be able to allow you to get through the game with the path that you've chosen. So I don't know if they made it so you could respec, so they didn't have to balance the game for each weapon class, which feels a bit restrictive, or whether they, just made the decision of, well, if you get stuck, then we'll just make it so that you can do that easily because that's a fun thing to do. And I don't mind that in the game, but it does feel like it might be a better game if they just balanced it so no matter which weapon class you went with, you still had the chance of getting through each particular boss. But it then does kind of make you experiment with things a little bit more, and it does mean that you can just go and go, right, I'm just going to try the double swords now and just see how they are for a bit and stuff like that. And I also think that there are going to be, from what I've seen in the game so far, there are going to be bosses that you have to not only respec the weapon class that you're going with, but probably because they have particular elemental attacks that you have to counter and stuff like that. One of the first ones you encounter is fire, and there's different kind of elemental, and then just other things like the blight and other like corruption and other things that you have to manage. So when you're going up against a particular boss, you might have to change the armor set that you're wearing so that you are better equipped to do that, but then also change the items and stuff you're going with as well. And yeah, control-wise, it feels a little bit cumbersome in terms of it feels like there's not enough buttons for everything they're trying to do in the game. So you've got like a magic spell that you can have on just the Y button, but if you want to access more than one magic spell, you have to hold that button down and then press one of the triggers or bumpers. So it gives you access to a few more things, but it feels a little bit inelegant at times. And switching between items, there's 4 items, and it would have been great to just have them on the 4 D-pads, but one of the D-pad buttons is how you switch weapons. So they've had to go, so you just go up and down and then the X button to use the item and stuff like that. So as I said, like, it feels a little bit inelegant, but once you get used to the systems, the slight weird terminology and the way the game works, it is a great Souls-like game. Like, I was a bit lukewarm on it to start with, but having sunk a bit of time into it, bit too much on some occasions and late evenings this week, I've got to the point where I really enjoy this game. I think it's a really good Souls-like game. I played Wolong earlier this year. I think it was earlier this year. And I really enjoyed that. And I think this just pips it in terms of being a slightly better Souls-like game. Like,
Okay.
And I've slightly less experience with some of the ones outside of like, non-FromSoft Souls-likes, but this is probably the best non-FromSoft Souls-like I've played, basically. And I've tried a few here and there, but this is probably my favorite. And I really liked Wolong. I thought that was really good, but I think this might be better just because the world is so interconnected and works really well.
That's interesting because Wolong got like very favorable. Well, sorry, Wolong comes from that same camp as the Kingdom Come Deliverance, where it got a lot of really good reviews, but it got a lot of negative reviews. But it wasn't to do with the game; it was because of the people making the game.
Right.
Had garnered some disfavor online, let's say.
Yeah.
But a lot of people were looking to this in that same kind of favor as Wolong because it's another Souls-like that comes out of China, and thought that we could be in for a winner here. But I think this one's been marred by the technical issues of the PC, as you said previously, that's
Which
kind
is a shame.
of let it down.
Yeah.
Which I think that there seems to be a big flurry of Unreal Engine 5 games, that there's a big rush to make games in Unreal 5, so you can say Unreal 5.
Yeah.
But optimization on Unreal 5 seems to be very odd. A lot of forced like frame generation and stuff added to it. So
yeah, they have. The developers have already said there's a big balance patch and general kind of life upgrade type things in terms of quality of life upgrades, and also a big technical upgrade as well coming for some of the versions. So hopefully that'll solve at least a large majority of the problems.
Okay.
But right, I would say if you're a PC player at the moment, unless you've got top of the line PC, hold off until it's fixed. But if you're a Souls fan at all, like, you definitely want to play this because it's a really good version, despite the odd feathering of things and the whole slightly weird terminology. It's one worth diving into. It does do the FromSoft thing not quite as well in telling, like, you know, leaving you to find the story and having a silent protagonist that, like, talks but doesn't talk, if you see what I mean. Like, the people you're interacting with are acting as though you're talking to them, but you don't actually ever say anything, which in the structure of a FromSoft, and most of the FromSoft Souls-like games, works because you have a character creator, or it seems better effect because you have a character creator, and that could be quite a wide range of people, and voicing all of that would be difficult. This is just one character that's made for you, though, so I think that feels a bit more disconnected, and that's why I was saying at first it felt like a slightly Souls-like, but the game is really good. The combat and world really make it, and I think that makes it a worthy recommendation.
Good. Okay. Well, Wu Chang Fallen Feathers is available now on PC, PlayStation. Try that again. PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and by the sounds of it, you want to be playing it on the Xbox over the other. Yes, $44.99, but it's also, as we said previously, available on Xbox Ultimate, I believe. So, go give that a go. I was going to try it before the show yesterday, but I was just exhausted. I did not get a chance to play it, unfortunately. But what I have been playing this week, apart from the Death Stranding 2 continuation that I've been doing, and still with the Hell Clock on Nintendo Switch, on Steam Deck, which I'm looking forward to seeing what Dan thinks of that game, because he picked it up as well on last show. I got sent a copy of My Friendly Neighborhood, which you may have heard of this game previously. Came out in 2023 on PC, and it's finally got its console release 2 years later. So you can play this on PlayStation 4, 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S. I can't remember if it was coming to Nintendo Switch, but we'll find out. But yes, so this is out now. I have been enjoying this. When I first heard of this game, because on first appearances, it's Horror Muppets, a horror game that's loosely based off Sesame Street, essentially. And I immediately thought this was going to be some kind of clone on Five Nights at Freddy's, because, you know, animatronics popping up and screaming at you and stuff. And it's a lot more in depth than that. So what you've got here is more of a kind of a Resident Evil or a BioShock, the first person exploring puzzles and a bit of shooting like combat, some hand combat, shooting combat, you know, mix the two up together. So I was surprised that way. What you have here is a story of, there once was a show which was essentially Sesame Street, but it was called Ricky with Friends, and it's been cancelled. It's gone away for a long time, and the studio has been left abandoned. And then one day, the aerial switches back on for that studio and starts transmitting a broadcast which is interfering with our regular TV, which is mostly doom and gloom news. Fox News, maybe, who knows? And news and documentaries mostly. And so now that's interfering, and the TV is interspersed with dancing, colourful puppets. So you get sent out to the station to switch off the antenna and stop the broadcast. I should turn on the... I keep doing this for my games especially. I keep forgetting to turn on the footage. Yep. So as you arrive, you are greeted by a sock puppet who is kind of your companion along the way, because he steers you in what direction you're going, but at the same time, he's clearly trying to stop you turning off the aerial. And then along the way, you end up going to the neighborhood and end up finding that there are not friendly Muppets roaming around, but murderous puppets. They keep trying to attack you, and they keep garbling this weird mix of lines that they were saying on the show, but they're going wrong. So they'll say things like, I eat things, but depending on my mood, if I'm happy, I eat watermelon. If I'm sad, I'll eat leftovers. If I'm angry, I'll eat the roadkill from outside on the like. They start saying quite dark and twisted things along the way. And if they get too close,
actually stands for, by the way, Colin, like murderous puppets. Is that where the term Muppets comes from?
probably not.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like we can ask Jim Henderson.
Oh.
Can't really ask him these days.
Nope.
But yes, Muppets attack you, and what happens is you end up having to traverse these various different parts of the studio, and either avoiding these puppets that are trying to grab a hold of you and attack you, or shoot them. You also have this ability to. You can find duct tape along the way, so once you've taken one of these puppets out, you can tape them up.
Duct tape.
Yes, so that will kind of put them out of action for longer than regular. Otherwise, if you leave the room and then come back in the room, it's quite likely that they'll be back up and ready to attack you again. Yeah. It's got very heavy, Resident Evil vibes, as I said. It's the walking around trying to solve puzzles, but also the inventory management of you can only hold. Yeah, you can only hold so many things and try to work it out along the way. Like, I got to a point where a shotgun became available. Well, this universe's version of a shotgun became available to me, but I couldn't take it anywhere because I had too much stuff in my inventory. And I was like, well, I better go and do some puzzles and get rid of these key items that I'm carrying around with me before I can pick up this much more powerful weapon. Very enjoyable, a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. I thought this would be like an easy 4 or 5 hour game and done, just because this is such a small. I think this is like a developer of just two brothers that are working on this game, or have been working on this game, and then published by DreadXP. Again, thank you DreadXP for sending me out the game. And it ends up being like a lot more in depth and longer than I thought it would be, with multiple endings for you to discover at the end. So I have been enjoying my time with this. I will say I've been having a couple of weird kind of more graphical glitches than anything else. I've had a bit of screen tearing on the PlayStation 5, which hasn't been great, and it's been weird as well. It kind of pops in and out, and it's usually when I'm turning that I notice it. And then sometimes, the screen will tear as I'm turning, and I'll go, "That was weird," and then I'll turn again and go, "Oh, it stopped." That was it's like a split-second screen tear. So very minor graphical issues, but otherwise enjoyable. I have really been fancying myself on this one. I will say, because again, this is already out on PC. This is out on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. But if you want to play it on the Xbox or the PC, it's available on Game Pass, much like Wu-Chang Fallen Feathers, which I didn't know until I installed the PS5 version. But luckily, I didn't pay for this one. So I'm not feeling the sting so much.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I have a question, Miss Coleman.
Yes.
You said it's Resident Evil-y vibes, and it reminds me of a couple of things. But I think for some reason it's given me some BioShock vibes. I think that just because
that's kind of what I was feeling.
And then the weapons look a bit steampunky.
Yeah, the weapons are weird because they are. So, for instance, what you're seeing on screen if you're watching the video version, it's a pistol made of a Rolodex.
Okay.
So, right, kids, a Rolodex. This was like the phone book setting on your phone, but it was like pieces of paper on a little rotary thing that you kind of had to physically turn around.
So, are you shooting those at the puppets?
Yes.
How is that harming the puppets where you're just shooting pieces of card?
If you shoot them so many times, it takes them down and out of your way.
Okay.
I will say as well, because I was kind of playing around with the difficulty settings to see how different it was.
An easy mode.
No, I was playing through on normal difficulty, and then at some point I was like, I wonder how different because it seems the enemies are a little bit spongy with how you take them down. Especially if you go for the melee and hit them with a wrench, which again very Bioshocky, hitting them with a wrench. So I put it on the easy mode just to kind of see, and I couldn't really tell a difference in combat. So I'm wondering if it's maybe they put more kind of hints for the puzzles or something. But combat wise, I didn't directly notice any kind of change between easy and normal. So who knows? Maybe I'll try hard and see how that is as well. But yes, interesting game. I was watching some screen secret stuff on PC, which is what do you ever watch the Out of Bounds kind of videos? Which
Nope.
I really like those. People will take a game on PC and then break it to go, wonder what's outside of this level. So if you're playing like Arkham City's like one of the big ones, if you go outside the bounds of Arkham City, you can see there's an entirely different city in the background, or different part of Arkham City in Gotham in the background, but it's very low rendered because it's all meant to be really far away, and you can't land on anything because it wasn't designed for Batman to be walking around it. With My Friendly Neighborhood, like outside the bounds of the game, there's gigantic versions of the puppets that are like looming over. Very cool, and some like hidden artwork and things and messages. I thought that was all really cool. But yeah, that's not really part of the review. I just thought that was a very interesting thing. But yes, $24.99 if you want to pick up the game. That's on every platform. But again, this is available on Game Pass if you want to give it a try. And I would say give it a try if you're a fan of BioShock, if you're a fan of Resident Evil. I don't think it's just because of the nature of the puppets. It's not that scary, but there are some jump scary moments like. A lifeless puppet fell out of the ceiling in front of me, and that made me go, "Bah!" Yeah, that was about it. But it's got
a blur.
Yeah,
made you go Boris
into a
Johnson.
vampire all of a sudden. No, but I was going to say, who's the old vampire? The old Dracula. Oh, it's going to drive me nuts now.
As in, like,
I keep thinking Boris Karloff, but he was Frankenstein.
not Christopher Lee, then. No?
No. Way before Christopher Lee. Anyway, neither here or there.
Yes.
But yes, if you like unnerving games, it's definitely that. I would say if you like the Resident Evil games, but you want more puzzles, then this is a good one for you. Yeah, it's a recommend from me. My Friendly Neighborhood. Go play it now. Well, not right now. Finish watching the show, then go.
Yeah,
play
do
it.
that first. Couple of things just to flesh out the bits that I forgot about Wu Chang. So,
Flesh.
first of all, you remind me I didn't mention the price, and that's one good thing about it. It is $44.99.
Oh, I mentioned the price.
Okay, you did. Okay, I thought I'd completely neglected that, and we neglected it as a whole. The one thing that I didn't remember, which I'm going to forgive myself for forgetting this because it's, as I said, it's a weird name. Skyborn Might is the name of the energy type system that powers your.
It's pretty good.
Weird moves. I also didn't mention an overall mechanic that's worth mentioning quickly as well, though. The madness mechanic, which is quite cool.
Madness mechanic.
You get more mad. Like if you die too many times, each time you die, it'll raise your madness level, basically.
Yes.
If you're at full madness when you die,
that's when your baggy trousers come out.
Yes, exactly. In the House of Fun.
That's correct.
Yeah, but no, if you're at full madness and you die, you lose, I think, you drop all of your souls, your Ready Mercury, but you don't normally, before you're at full madness, you just drop a portion of them, which is a bit more forgiving than some Souls-like games. But if you drop all of your Ready Mercury when you die at full madness, like, you'll have a chance to go back and pick it up again, but to do so, you'll have to fight your inner demon, which is like this hard character thing that comes out, and you have to battle with them, and it's quite a hard battle to kill them, and then you can pick up the stuff if you're successful in beating them. You also
Just
get
like
a little
Death
reward
Stranding.
for doing so. But you can use that inner demon in some interesting ways, because if they interact with an enemy, they can actually aggro each other and start fighting each other. So if you actually get killed by a hard enemy, you can use your inner demons to then beat up that enemy and have the enemy beat up your inner demon a bit, and then finish off whichever one of them survives. So there's some interesting ways to use that, and the madness thing is quite cool. You also can get get other upgrades that you use that plays into how high your madness rating is. So above 50% madness, you'll do more of this, or above 90%, you'll do more of that. But also, just in general, that when you're at maximum madness, particularly, you'll do more damage and also receive more damage. So you can play around that as well, basically. So you can deliberately up your madness level by buying things or by killing yourself or doing other things, so that, yeah, you can mess around with that madness rating and use that to your advantage, but it can also be a disadvantage as well.
What level of the madness meter do you have to hit to achieve peak macho madness? Yeah.
I would say above 80%, probably.
I feel you explaining game systems to me,
Yeah.
mechanics of video games, is setting off my madness meter, Tim.
Good.
Is there
Getting
much
more
more?
Mad. You want to put
Good.
more points in your impetus repository for patience with Tim's BS.
I want to play this drop.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
News time. We haven't got a lot of time for it.
Yeah.
But I want to get over these. So this one, specifically want to cover this one because this one caught me out because of the misreporting I saw of this. PlayStation Studios, they're hiring for a new job, which is a senior director of multi-platform and account management.
Cena?
Which
John
Senior.
Cena.
John Senior.
Yep.
That was misreported all over various different social medias, but I saw all over threads people going, Sony confirms that Spider-Man 2 is coming to Xbox. Like, that is not what they said.
No.
They said, we're hiring a person for multi-platforms, listing partnerships like Steam, Epic, Nintendo, and Xbox. So you may see it,
And he
you
just-
may not.
Just happened to say in the job description that they would need to get them pictures of Spider-Man. So
Yes. We've already seen it previously, last couple of weeks. Helldivers 2 got announced as coming to Xbox this August. So it's not out of the realms of possibility. We're going to see some of the biggest first-party platform games coming to Xbox. But they haven't confirmed what yet.
Yes.
So stop it. Caught me out as well.
All right, it may be the fact that I already have an Xbox and a PlayStation that I don't really care. But
Yes.
there's obviously like the whole, fanboy people getting their panties in a bunch about the whole going from one platform to another. But the more gamers that can enjoy a game, the better generally, Like, it seems to be a
Tim,
bit of a old idea.
there is that. I will also tell you the top 5 games on the PlayStation sales charts right now are all owned by Xbox.
That's quite funny.
Yes.
But also, I'd be more interested in PlayStation porting stuff to Nintendo Switch 2 than to Xbox generally. But
I will if it doesn't look rough like that Star Wars Outlaws port. Woof. It's just come out. How have you made it look that bad? It's meant to be the same power as a Xbox Series S, I heard. Who knows? But yes, I thought that was interesting. I would like to see more kind of parallel between all the different consoles. You've got people. I know we tend to buy all the consoles because we can. But if you've got if you've got one console and you go for one, but we have a Nintendo Switch. We haven't got Nintendo Switch 2s, but we've got a Nintendo, we've got an Xbox, we've got a PlayStation. So we tend to go for the full gamut of consoles just because we can. But I know that some people will just get the one console. And if you've got yourself in, back in 2005, say, you're going to go, I can switch from PlayStation to Xbox to whatever the new thing is. But if you're kind of in that ecosystem, especially with the advent of like achievements and trophies, some people really get into those. The online play, the purchases of your games that then some platforms allow you to carry forward. You might stay just pure Xbox, you might stay just pure PlayStation, and those are the people that don't get to play Forza or don't get to play Spider-Man, and then going to those platforms. We just I just said top 5 games in the top 10 right now for PlayStation are all Xbox games, and then there's more going further into something like 8 out of 10 games are all Microsoft owned.
See, what will be weird is if we get to a point where Game Pass comes to PlayStation.
That would be odd.
Yeah.
Installing, I could see it. I could see them going, hey, if you want to install your games, you need an Xbox or a PC. If you want to stream your games, have at it. We'll put it on anything.
And we'll put it.
I could totally see them doing that.
Coleman is an Xbox.
I am an Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All good. But yeah, like I don't know. I think that would be good for gamers, but I don't know how that would work for PlayStation or Xbox, basically. Like,
yeah, well,
I don't know about you.
It's extra revenue.
Yeah, but I'd prefer to have a way of downloading Game Pass games, but I'm not 100% sure we're going to see another Xbox console in future. I don't know. Like,
they seem dedicated to making sure we have more consoles, and I think that is a selling point. If you go, hey, you've got Game Pass on everything, but only this platform you can download your games to.
yeah.
But, we're speculating, so we'll see what the future holds. But interesting news, I thought.
Yeah.
More interesting news was the news that Sony are suing Tencent, which, if you're going to sue someone, sue Tencent. I'm
They have
okay
some
with
money,
that.
to be fair.
Yes. While we're doing this, just for no reason, let me just play you a trailer from Horizon Zero Dawn or Horizon Zero Forbidden West. Let me just put that up in the background. Yes, just remember that Horizon. The Horizon games from the Horizon series. We like the robot dinosaur, robot wildlife and luscious landscapes and redhead. Oh no, wait, sorry. This is Light of Motrium, the game for upcoming game from Tencent, which though doesn't look as impressive as the Horizon games because they've made it in such a way. It does bear some similarities.
Yeah, this is very much we've got Horizon Zero Dawn at home.
Yeah, I've heard that a few times. So allegedly what happened is Sony say that Tencent came up to them requesting their Horizon license at GDC 2024 and were turned down. And then they proceeded to make a game, Horizon-based, and approached Sony again and said, here's what we've been working on. Will you let us have your license now? And they said no.
Yeah.
So they went, all right, just change this bit here and this bit here, and there you go, brand new IP. I can see why Sony is suing them. They've got to one, protect their brand. Two, they're alleging that people could confuse this for Horizon. This is taking money out of their sales. Whatever you have to do, you got to protect your IP. Totally understand that. I think on first impressions, yes, but as the trailer goes on and more stuff kind of is shown off, I can see that this isn't Horizon and definitely doesn't perform on that level. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's harmless enough and enough varied that this isn't a problem, but I can see why they're suing at the same time.
It does seem quite derivative. I can see why, as you say, they're protecting their IP. I don't 100% know that they're going to be successful though. Like, because to most gamers you can go, well, this is similar enough that it does seem derivative. But I think that's a harder thing to argue in a court of law because I don't think you can protect your IP in someone saying that this was a Horizon game, obviously. But I don't think you can go, this is too similar to my game, because I think they could stand up in court and go, well, look how similar all these other games are in terms of style of gameplay or environment and stuff like that. I don't know. From what I know of the legality of things, I don't think this will necessarily hold up. But it's whether it will be worth them just settling out of court just to get it through, or whether they'll agree to change certain things so that it does look a bit more different, but I don't know.
Yeah. I will say, even though I think it's different enough in my opinion, different enough to get away with it in a lot of the areas, I will say watching the trailer did make me go, oh yeah, I should probably finish Horizon Forbidden West. So it did remind me enough to at least tell me I should be playing that game. I will also say, Tim, would you like to know what Sony wants out of this lawsuit potentially?
Oh, yeah, that'd be interesting.
So they want the courts to shut the game down, destroy all infringing materials, and potentially play
Burn it all.
potentially pay $150,000 per copied element.
Not per copied elephant.
Well, no, the robot elephants with it. The
Yeah.
mammoths they are,
Yeah,
really.
okay,
they're
more
elephants now,
more
but they were
mammoths.
mammoths previously.
Okay, that's
yeah,
fine.
yeah.
That makes more sense.
Interesting.
That sounds ambitious. Basically.
Yes.
I don't
It's-
necessarily know they'll get away with that.
It's
I
still
don't-
listed on Steam, so it looks like 10 cents ready to go ahead. So we'll see
Yeah.
what happens. We'll keep you updated. We'll see.
Mm.
Another interesting thing. I thought this was interesting.
Yep.
Wolfenstein is getting a TV show,
Wolfenstein?
and Wolfenstein from the the Xbox brand and also the Bethesda brand.
Mm-hmm.
That is getting its own TV show to Prime Video. If that sounds familiar,
Cool.
that's because Prime did Fallout.
Yeah.
So the
They
same
did a
team
good,
behind.
good job of that as well, I think.
Very
So
good job. I'm really looking forward to season 2.
Yeah.
Is that this year, isn't it? With the new Vegas season?
Maybe, couldn't tell you for
I
sure.
think
but
so.
That
I think
sounds
it's
like
this
about
year.
right timing wise.
Yeah, I'm sure it's late in the year. But the same team, production team behind Fallout are working on this Wolfenstein TV show, which I would like to see.
I think this could work really well. Like it's a fun thing to do. Punching alternate history Nazis. It's
Yeah, I
probably
think
good.
Amazon did. Was it Amazon that had Man in the High Castle, or maybe they just had the streaming rights for it? But
Yeah,
I
I'm not
remember
sure
that-
if they made it or just had the streaming rights, but yeah, they did. Yeah.
Yeah, so that has similar premise of the later Wolfenstein games. It's like it's our modern day, but it's done
Yeah.
with the Nazis won and alternative timeline, and I like that idea. I like more of BJ Blazkowicz running around blowing Nazis up, so that would be cool. So hopefully that's going to be a good one.
Though they have cyber animals, maybe they'll get sued by Sony as well. Like,
Oh, live action Punzerhound.
mm-hmm.
Yes, please.
Panzerhound?
I mean, we Panzer.
Panzer.
Yeah?
I think
For
'cause
sure?
It's like the Panzer.
Like a tank,
Yeah.
Panzer tank. Okay,
Yeah, not Bunzer.
yeah. I think I say
Yeah.
Punzer because it's funnier in a German accent.
Fine.
Yeah, just going down the club, getting the wives, getting some Punzerhound.
Really?
We have actually seen live action Panzerhound because if you remember, they did those teaser trailers where it was like a kind of a Lassie knockoff, but it was a young girl and her Panzerhound.
Vaguely remember, but
There were
that was
teasers
the promo
for
one, yeah.
New Colossus, possibly. I can't remember.
Yeah.
It was one of the more recent ones. But yes, I've started playing those again. By the way, they perform very well on the Steam Deck. If you were
Did
interested,
those games
make
kind
a
of
very
get worse
large
as they
noise.
went, though?
So I heard. So they did the first reboot game, and then they
Yeah.
did the Expand Alone, which
Yeah.
was meant to be DLC, and then they released it on its own, which kind of serves as the prequel to the reboot because I think
Right,
it just
yep.
jumped straight into I heard that's really good, but
Yeah,
a lot
those
of people
bits
didn't
were-
like it because it was just elements of the first game remixed into the second.
And
Then
the,
the
sequel was
second-
okay.
Yeah, the
And then they did the
sequel I
weird
heard.
other bits.
It's the story. People didn't like the story. It got too
Okay.
silly. But then there's a sequel to that where it's the daughters of BJ Blazkowicz.
Young Bloods, was that?
Youngbloods, that was it, which did not go down very well.
No,
and I
that
think
didn't.
as well that was quite close to that weird Fallout game, which was like the spin-off of 5. If you pick the bad ending for 5, and it was like
Right.
past the nuclear apocalypse, and there was 2 female antagonists at that point, and it was kind of a weird. Hey, these 2 games got the 2 female protagonists. This game's got the 2 female antagonists, and
Okay.
it was a weird time of spin-offs of games, and yeah, I don't know. Anyway, Wolfenstein TV show. Let's hope it's good.
Yeah. Could be good.
Yeah, and then each series that comes out, it'll get worse as diminishing returns, as
Yeah.
you say, much like The Last of Us.
And a
Xbox-
slightly dodgy VR game somewhere along the way.
Yes. Lastly, this is very quick. This is just to say because we've reported on where in the world is Carmen. Where in the world is Hollow Knight Silk Song? It was announced. It feels like it was announced back in World War II, and we keep getting trickles of updates, flashes of just little teasers in different Xbox presentations. The most recent being the ROG Ally announcement, where they went, "There it is, there it goes."
Yeah,
Like we're not giving you
so is
anything
this.
more. It'll work on a ROG Ally. We've now had confirmation the first playable demo will be at this year's Gamecom. So Team Cherry will be there to show off Silksong, and there'll be a playable demo at the Xbox booth along with Ninja Gaiden 4, Grounded 2, and also the debut of the handheld ROG Ally Xbox consoles.
Okay, that all sounds good.
Yes. Also, the what was that?
Did they do hands-on with the ROG Ally for press though? I'm guessing that's the
this is for public.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I'm assuming press have played Silksong at some point in some way as well. So
no, it doesn't exist, Coleman.
No, it doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. Fan fiction until we see it. Until we see it, it's fan fiction. Yes. Outer Worlds 2 as well. That's going to be there, but it's not going to be playable.
Oh.
Which is weird because it's so close to the game coming out. Apparently, there's going to be like a theatre presentation of that game if you want to watch a game that's about to come out. So enjoy. Gamescom. All right, that's all the news we have time for this year, and we've got to get out of here. But before we do, we'd like to do our little wrap-ups at the end of the show. And first of all, a very quick plug for our Dashery store, bigredbarrel.com/store. You can go there. You can pick up our merch. We have T-shirts. We have mugs. We have stickers. Do we have mouse mats? That seems like a thing we should have.
No, but we should.
Get on it, Tim. Get Tim
I
on
did
it.
actually find a company that might be able to provide those, so that's a thing.
Ooh, I like mouse mats. I could do with a mouse. Can we get one of those big desk mouse mats?
That's what I was
I
looking
like
at.
those. I've got one. It's got a little LED strip around it, so I'm not replacing it now. It's got little magnets, and you can put little pots on it and things.
Magnets?
It's handy. Yeah,
How do they work?
Miracle. Absolute miracle. But you can have I've got a pen pot, and it sticks on the mouse mat because of a magnet. Pretty cool, right, Tim? Got you jealous.
It's pretty cool.
I bought it because I thought it had a mobile wireless charger thing on it. That was a different one I was looking at, and I got confused, and I wished it was the wrong thing. But I'm still happy with it. It has a little.
You just put your phone on it, and the magnet wipes the memory on your phone. Yeah?
No, that's the 90s, Tim. That's floppy disks in the 90s.
Okay.
Anyway, merch available at bigredbarrel.com/store. Also, Tabletop Tuesdays is a thing.
Tabletop Tuesday is a thing, Coleman. Each and every Tuesday, we do an event called Tabletop Tuesday at the Loading Bar in Stoke Newington. Each and every week, we have a different feature game. If you play that feature game that evening, you have a chance of winning a copy of the game at the end of the evening. This week's game... Yes?
What's this week's game?
This week's game, Mr. Coleman, is a very popular game called Hues and Cues. Now, we already have copies of the game in the bar, but we'll have a brand new copy to give away. But it is a fun game about kind of describing colours to other people, giving 1 or 2 word clues, and they have to guess the colour that you're talking about.
Cues with clues, some would suggest, maybe.
Cues.
They should call it that.
They did. It's playable by 3 to 10 people at once, so it's a good little party game, and it's good fun. You can also just mess around and play it in teams as well. But it's a really good little game. Definitely worth coming along and playing. Will be a good prize for this week. We are also, as it is the first of our month, it's our general social games night, so we tend to have one game that's good for sociable groups, hence the fact we're playing Hues and Cues as our feature game. But we also be running our social deduction night alongside that as well. And there is the new expansion for Blood and the Clock Tower. So we're rotating back to Blood and the Clock Tower, which could be good fun with the new expansion. So there will be new stuff to play with for that as well. So come along and join us. If you want more details, you can search on the right-hand side of Big Red Barrel. There is a big button you can press for more details on Tabletop Tuesday. It will also link you to a video that will help teach you the game of the week. Although this one's quite simple this week, so it should be fairly easy. We can help explain it on the night. But other than that, you can search for Tabletop Tuesday on meetup.com. Join the over 2,250 people in our meetup group. Search for Tabletop Tuesday on meetup.com, or just come along to Tabletop Tuesday at the Loading Bar in Stoke Newington this here Tuesday and every other Tuesday. And you could win a copy of the game just by playing it. This week you could win Hues and Cues.
Nice. Loading Bar and Stoke Newington. Go there. Tabletop Tuesday. Hues and Cues. Good name for a good game. I'm assuming. I don't know. Never played it. If you've enjoyed this show, thank you for listening, you weirdos. Thank you for watching, you weirdos. We love you. You can find more content over at bigredbarrel.com. Go to bigredbarrel.com. We put content there, allegedly. But also you can find links to our social media, such as our Discord, which, Tim...
Yep.
You can find at bigredbarrel.com/Discord. It will take you straight to the invite link. You can get chatting. We've just given it a little bit of a... We've just had a little bit of a reorganizing over there. We've moved some things around. We've changed some names and stuff. Made it a little bit more palatable. And I have finally done the thing that I've been threatening to do for ages. If you go to the community lounge and go to the game giveaways channel, Steam codes. Loads and loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of Steam codes. Go in, claim, hit a little emoji on there or something, so I know you've claimed it. I'll take it off. Then it doesn't cause confusion because it's first come, first serve. But yes. But you can also ask us questions, much like it's Ed. He says, I think Ed's all our questions forever now. He says... I am currently suffering with the worst earache I have had in 17 years. I apologize.
Common yelling in your ear hasn't done any good then, no.
I was going to say I apologize for Tim's explaining of Wu Chang Fallen Feathers. That can't have helped. Yeah, 45 minutes of that. I had 2 hours of sleep and pray for death.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, he's going to unalive himself.
Oh, no.
YouTube. What are your favorite types of games to play when you are unwell? Tim, I can take this first if you want to have a think. I like big open world games that I can kind of get lost in, and doesn't really matter if I pause, put it in rest, and come back to if I'm out in the open area. I find so the most recent, last 2 times I was proper ill. Once I had COVID, and another one I had this really horrible virus attacking my immune system. Oh no! It was Star Wars Outlaws, and then Astrobot, the latest Astrobot game. That was a good one, which isn't a big open world game, but it was kind of more simplified to get through. And I platinumed that game while I had COVID, so not bad.
Yeah, I think kind of cozy comfort stuff. But when I'm ill, I tend to just curl up in a ball on the couch and watch stuff more than I play stuff.
I'm a little bit similar at times.
If I'm slightly under the weather with a cold or something, then I'll just play something that I'm comfortable with, like Tetris, or even though that's a bit stressful, I like a good puzzle game or something, or as you say, an open world game, and just not really do the missions, but just potter about and do stuff and play the mini games and stuff like that. But if I'm properly ill, I can't play anything. I'll just watch something rather than play games.
I remember being quite ill a long time ago and just doing chess missions in Watch Dogs.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
Because I didn't have chess.
Oh.
I was going to say, what was it? Because I remember I used to just watch things. But if you're that kind of ill where you're delirious, I find that can backfire at times. So I was going through the entirety of Green Wing, and that show gets bizarre at times, and that does not help when you're off your head on meds. But there was one where I had a really bad fever from a flu, and it was just I was going in and out of sleep and just feeling delirious. And I was watching The Walking Dead. Now, Tim.
Okay.
After The Walking Dead, they do a little panel show called The Talking Dead, where they a little round table. They sit down and they discuss the episode and the production, and they will tend to get celebrity guests to come in who are big Walking Dead fans and discuss it as well. Yep. And in this one, they had Chris Jericho, the wrestler, and this was very confusing to me because I fell asleep watching zombies, and in my weird feverish state, I can recognize Chris Jericho's voice quite easily. And I could just hear him talking about wrestling and zombies, and I was very confused as to what was happening. So, I stick to more the video game stuff now, if I'm well enough to play it and don't mind falling asleep to it. I feel Death Stranding 2 would be a good one for me to be playing while I'm ill. I'm just hoping I'm not getting ill, because everyone around me is getting ill at the moment.
Oh, no.
Fun times. years. Anyway, that's all the questions we have time for this week. Be sure to check out our Discord. I did make the Munter Haffel one just for Dan. I've not put a banner on it for it yet, but there you go. Guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. It has been another show. We will be back next week. I don't know what we're playing for next week. I think I've been sent something. I should have a look at my inbox.
Possibly. To be honest, I'm probably going to play some more Fallen Feathers. I'll try and play that demo that I didn't play this week because I was playing too much Wu-Chang, but other than that, all good.
I mean, I'm going to play more Death Stranding 2. I can't help it. At this point, it's life. I'm going to do some live streams. I'm going to do some more live streaming. I've got new equipment to set up.
Are you going to play like something interesting rather than just building roads for like an hour, Coleman?
I was thinking that. I was thinking maybe I should play Death Stranding 2. What do you reckon, Tim? It's a good game for technical tests. I'm going to do more story stuff. Last time I wanted a nice relax, like build bridges. Because I teased that I was going to just do nothing but build bridges on the last one. And that's what I did. Maybe I'll just do another build bridge stream.
Depends how ill you are. Mentally or physically.
I've got, I'm either going to do, I might do both. It might be Friday evening. It might be Saturday daytime to evening. Who knows? We'll see. Maybe I'll spend like 24 hours playing Death Stranding 2 on the beach. Like the good old days. But thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Be sure to check out bigredbarrel.com. Go review this podcast. Do all the things that you should do. Subscribe to all the things. Say hello on all the things. Check out our Discord. Watch the live stream. But for this episode of BRB UK, I have been Coleman.
I might have been Tim.
We'll see you next week for 646. Until next time, dear audience. Covers both, you see. Goodbye. Bye. I forgot to pull out the soundboard. Where's the outro? There it is. Bye.
Bye.
Found it.
No one told me there was going to be boasting.
Boring.
Whenever Poochie's not on screen, all the other characters should be asking, "Where's Poochie?"
We'll do it live. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Worst episode ever.
Confirmed.
Good. That one.
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
No.
Need some new drops. Need some new drops, Tim.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Mm-hmm.
I know you love the soundboard.
No.
Yes.
This thing's been in the request list for quite some time.
Oh, that was me. I couldn't find a good Godzilla Raw, and I don't know if I want to put the Wurzels on there because it's just going to encourage Dan. The worst one was he asked me to put on the theme tune for Dynasty. And then he realised that that's not what he was thinking of. The theme tune to Dynasty is actually quite boring. He meant Dallas, which we've had for ages. Since we've had the soundboard, I put Dallas on there.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, it's going twice. No one ever asked for Alf.
What was the soundtrack to Crossroads? Alf is good. Alf was a banger.
Alf is good. Alf is a banger. Maybe I'll put
Makes you feel better about
Hogan's
life.
theme on there. What was it? Was like doom, 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 doom.
I don't remember it at all. That's why I was asking.
I think that's what it was. Should we look up the Crossroads theme? It's going to play Eric Clapton. I know it. Crossroads theme tune. Let me just switch the. Where's the browser? It's this one. Let me know if you can hear this. I was right.
Okay,
Can you hear it?
I don't remember. That sounds very like Western. Ooh,
That's Crossroads. Oh yeah, good point. If I put the browser on, you're going to hear yourself.
Yep.
Yell echo.
Echo.
Is that weird?
Yes.
Okay. Because I'm listening to you through a browser. Silly me. Anyway, that's the... yeah, I'm going to add Crossroads. Screw it.
What the other good thing is they can't sue as a copyright strike. They don't exist anymore. That's how it works, right?
I believe Channel 5 owns the rights to Crossroads because they rebooted it at some point. Or no, wait, no, ITV rebooted it at some point. I watched it. I've seen it. I've definitely seen it.
Remember that. I'm getting really confused by hearing me.
Oh, I stopped, didn't I?
No.
Uh-oh.
Not on my end.
How about now?
Maybe. Yes.
Okay, sorry. I hit the wrong thing.
That's better.
I wonder what I turned off. Oh, that's for the stream.
Did you unplug the world?
No, I unplugged the stream audio for when I do the live streams.
Okay.
Took me. I should definitely set up a podcast profile and a stream profile. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. We're talking technical stuff on a live stream, so we're going to end now. Bye, guys. Where's the thing? I'm going to remove that one, and then I'm going to add that one. So when I add, so now you don't have to hear it because I'm just going to do it on the end of a stream. Bye, guys.